On Law Weekly today, some lawyers share their views on the situation in Kogi and how the issues can be resolved going forward. And in our interview segment, we chat with the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Bolaji Ayoride, on the role of the Attorney General, lawyers and judges in enhancing the administration of justice in the country. Hello there, welcome to Law Weekly on Channels Television. I am Shola Shoyeli. Let's begin straight away with the situation in Kogi. The last thing that would have been on the mind of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on Saturday, November 21st, when the electoral body conducted the governorship election in Kogi State, was that the process would throw up a constitutional crisis. But that was just what happened at the end of the polls.
Consequently, this election is therefore inconclusive.
The returning officer, Professor Emmanuel Kulcha, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Agriculture, Makurdi, Benue State, declared that Prince Abubakar Audu of the All Progressive Congress (APC) scored 240,867 votes, while Governor Idris Wada of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) polled 199,514 votes. Despite the fact that the APC led the PDP by 41,300 votes in about 90% of the areas where the election held, INEC declared that a supplementary election would be held for 49,953 voters in areas where votes were cancelled. The election was therefore declared inconclusive. This sounded simple enough, but what the electoral body did not anticipate was the political and constitutional crisis that would be thrown up as a result of the sudden death of the governorship candidate of the APC, Abubakar Audu, a situation that was also not envisaged by the Constitution or the Electoral Act. While Section 36 of the Electoral Act allows INEC to postpone an election if a validly nominated candidate dies before the commencement of polls, Section 181 of the Constitution allows a deputy governor-elect to become governor if the governor-elect dies before inauguration. The lack of clear provisions in the laws on a death before the conclusion of polls has deepened the confusion in the polity, with all the stakeholders taking different positions. INEC has fixed December 5, 2015 to conduct a supplementary governorship election in the state. It has also asked the APC to substitute its candidate. The PDP on its part is threatening to go to court if its candidate, Governor Idris Wada, is not declared the winner of the poll. The party is also seeking the exclusion of the APC from the planned supplementary election. The APC's running mate, Honorable Abiodun Faleke, is also insisting that INEC must declare him the winner of the elections. According to Honorable Faleke, any attempt by the electoral body to conduct any supplementary election will amount to breaching and flouting the Constitution, a situation he's willing to challenge in court. And most recently, some leaders of the APC in Kogi East Senatorial District have also nominated Mr. Mohammed Audu, the 43-year-old first son of late Prince Abubakar Audu, to replace him as the party's governorship candidate. It appears to be a complex situation, one which has got the public, including lawyers, divided, especially over what some have termed a constitutional gap. On the program today, we bring you some of the opinions expressed by some lawyers.
Kogi case, very unfortunate. We sympathize with the Kogi people and the whole of Nigeria. That was a very unfortunate case of somebody that just won the election, even though they claim that it's inconclusive. He won that election clearly, because even if they conclude that election, he would still have won that election. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was a conclusive election. A few places that they need to do next week will not change anything. APC won that election clean and clear. On the death of the person that contested for that election, the Constitution is not clear on that. What the Constitution says is that if the candidate was duly elected and he dies, that the running mate will be sworn in as governor. But in this case, because INEC did not declare that person duly elected, so we have a form of lacuna that will require the interpretation of Supreme Court. I disagree with the Attorney General of the Federation. He's not a judge. It does not have the power to declare what is so declared. It should recognize that it's not a judge. It's just the Attorney General of the Federation. He can advise INEC. And I think the proper thing to do for him, or INEC, not even him now, it's INEC. INEC, because INEC is independent. INEC should approach the courts.
Is it appropriate for APC to inherit the votes cast for the late Mr. Alhaji Abubakar Audu? It's a very knotty issue, I have to be honest. But there are decisions of the Supreme Court which basically, I believe, the Amici case, which clearly indicated that the beneficiaries of elections are political parties. To that extent, I would think that the votes that have been cast for Abubakar Audu should be inherited by the APC. Now, the other angle to it also is the issue concerning who the candidate for APC should have been. Now, there are those who are still of the opinion that the running mate for the late Alhaji Abubakar Audu should have been allowed to complete the process of the election. Now, that area is a bit, it's quite unclear to me.
I've read a lot about the Kogi election. I've tried to look at books, constitution, and otherwise. And I was the opinion, personal though, that the order for the rerun ought not to be made at all. When you look at it, the constitution stipulates the minimum condition a candidate must fulfill to be declared winner. You must have the overall, you must have the highest vote, you must win, maybe you must have one, I think 2/3 in about 1/3 of the local government, which I think the APC had. I'm laying emphasis on the word think, which I think the APC had. And as a result of that, there shouldn't be any reason whatsoever to order for rerun. And when you look at it again, by what I read in the paper, which may not be official, I learned that those to be accredited are probably about 29, those who are accredited that were to vote were probably about 29,000 or thereabout. And that even if the whole 29,000 is given to a particular candidate, that will still not be up to the figure that another party has gotten. So if that is the case, why are you ordering the wrong? Why are you creating problem where there's none? It's rather unfortunate. And I want to believe that INEC should be a body that has a standard and well-informed legal personnel. And they should have talked to those people to look at the books ups and down before coming up with this option.
I want to believe that the line of action as INEC intends to take, well, it's a question of legalese of it or thereabout. But I think that in the first place, the issues on ground and for the reasons they have adjudged the elections inconclusive was, so to say, not very proper in my personal view. The Constitution and the Electoral Act put together, read in a community, might not actually give a support to that line of action of INEC. Be that as it may, I think that the option or direction of the Attorney General of the Federation, as he has given, that APC is in a better position to change candidates, I think it is improper, because elections have commenced and you don't change the goalpost midstream. You know, I think what should happen is that since INEC had said they are concluding the elections on the parameters they have set, they should go ahead and conclude the elections and go forward to announce the results on the platform of APC if it wins, or PDP if it wins. then if there is a lacuna in the area of the candidates of any of the parties, the Constitution and the Electoral Act has specified what should happen. The persons who have stood elections on the basis of the former primaries conducted should be announced.
It is a growing democracy, it's a developing society, and of course we find ourselves having those kind of situations all the time. What we don't do is to quickly take advantage and go back to the courts or go back to the laws and see how we can take care of those situations and deal with it. Everybody has their own opinion. I have my own opinion about it, and I don't think that the position that has been taken should be the thing, because if you're saying that a party won an election, there's a party ticket and a party won an election, then the deputy governor should be the one stepping in. So there are all kinds of things, and everybody can back up their arguments. So what I think should happen ideally is there's a constitutional provision which allows the Attorney General go back to the Supreme Court, ask for an interpretation of certain of the sections in view of the situation, and that can take care of it.